It's an age-old problem. I want to enjoy my burger rare or medium rare, but I don't want to die of food poisoning. Now, for the longest time, it would seem like you can't have the former without risking the latter. Until today. Because today, we're going to show you a way to make your burgers much safer to eat however you like them. And this video is somewhat inspired by one of my favourite werewolf movies of all time, The Howling.
How you want it, honey?
Rare.
So if it's good enough for Marsha Keast, it's good enough for us. Secondly, this inspiration comes from a long-time friend and viewer of The Shack, Julia. Thank you very much for your message about this very subject, about cooking burgers rare or medium rare. I know it's taken us a long time to get around to it, but we're finally here. This video is very much inspired by your questions, so thank you very much. I hope you're still watching. If you are, drop us a comment and let us know what you think of our solution to your question. Now, you might be thinking, well, why can't I just have my burger rare? I have my steaks rare and they're fine. Why aren't burgers the same? It's the same meat, it's beef. And the answer to that is our old friend surface area. Now, if you've watched our video on how to freeze certain items, you'll be fully familiar with what a problem surface area can be when it comes to bacterial growth. And beef is no exception. You see, when it comes to steak, you've essentially got two main surface areas with the edges. So, I don't know, let's say 3, 4. And when you apply heat to all those surfaces, you kill pretty much all the bacteria in that steak, because the bacteria that particularly likes to live with and around and on steak only likes to live on the surface mostly. It doesn't penetrate the meat. So when you heat the surface, you kill it all. Not so with minced beef. With minced beef, quite often you will start with cubes of meat, all with their own surface areas, and then you'll mince those through, and then all those surface areas get mixed together, basically creating the equivalent of an E. coli cake all throughout every bit of that mince. And as you can see, just searing the surface of that is not going to kill any bacteria that's already got inside. Now, I have discovered a few ways around this in doing some research for this video. Apparently you can add some sort of chemical to your mince and that will kill the nasty bacteria. I'm not very keen on adding chemicals to meat that I've, normally paid a bit more of a price for to avoid chemicals being added to it. Secondly, you can vac pack and then sous vide your beef. You need to hold it at a certain temperature for a certain amount of time. I can't remember what those times and temps are exactly right now. I'll put them up on the screen here. But today, we're going for a method that is actually recommended by the Government Food Standards Agency when preparing beef tartare. We are going for a method called the sear-and-shave method. So let's get to it. So, the sear-and-shave method begins, as you may have expected, with a good sear on a decent piece of beef. Now here we've got a lovely 3-pound piece of chuck from our local butcher. You can use other cuts, but I just find the fat ratio in chuck works perfectly for burgers. I'm just removing any string here, because obviously we don't want that going into our mincer. Next, get your frying pan raging hot over a high heat and add some oil. Then you're just going to sear your beef on all sides, making sure every single piece of pink meat on the surface gets cooked, but without cooking that inside too much. You're probably looking at about a minute each side. With that done, get it off the heat, cool it down, and get it in the freezer. And after about 30 minutes in the freezer, it's time for the shave part of this sear and shave technique. So taking the sharpest knife you own, begin shaving off very thin layers of that browned, cooked, maillarded? What is the past participle for maillard? Well, whatever it is, begin shaving off that brown meat until you get to the red stuff underneath. Don't throw away your trimmings, they'll be good in some kind of slow cooked ragu at a later date, so you can just pop them in the freezer if you want to. And when you feel you've shaved it back as much as you can, cube it up quickly and get it in the fridge. Now, it's time to look at our new toy. In case you hadn't already guessed, this method is very much going to involve mincing our own meat. In this case, we've got a lovely piece of chuck, but first of all, we've just purchased this meat grinder from Amazon. It wasn't particularly expensive, it wasn't lower end either, it's about 100 quid I think, so like a mid-end meat grinder. So let's get this out, have a quick look at it, put it together, and make some rare burgers. Right, and as soon as we dice that meat, it's gone right back into the fridge because the key here is to keep everything clean and everything cold to prevent the propagation of bacteria. But now we're ready, so let's get to it. And for once in the Shires of England, I'm the one with the ridiculously loud power tools. I've got to say, I'm pretty impressed with the way that's gone. My old mincer from years ago was a manual one, and that just used to take ages, and the mince used to get a bit warmer than I'd like it to. That's been super quick. You still got the friction of the meat going over the blades, so it will have introduced some warmth. So now we're going to go and chill this back down again in the fridge for maybe half an hour before we start to make our burger patties. Normally, when we're making diner-style burgers like this, I just shape them by hand, but this time I am going to use the burger press for consistency and for minimal handling, so again, we don't introduce too much warmth to this ground meat. Right, and if that doesn't look like a thing of beauty, I don't know what does. Again, we kept it really simple, just a little bit of salt, pepper and garlic while it was cooking. We just added some cheese, a little bit of lettuce and some ketchup. And if it's good enough for werewolves, it's definitely good enough for us. here in the shack. Enough chat, let's get in and taste this beast. Cheers! Okay, I've eaten a lot of burgers in my time, but that is hands down one of the best burgers I've ever tasted. The fact that it's medium rare is a completely different experience. It feels elevated, you really get the flavour of the meat. The texture is just fantastic, again, because we didn't handle the beef too much. We just pressed it very gently, and that coarse grind as well has really helped that texture. It literally just dissolves in your mouth. It's absolutely wonderful. Flavour, texture, 11 out of 10. I can't even conceive of a burger better than this. So that's definitely a win for the meat grinder that we've just purchased. I'll pop a link in the description in case you're interested. And let us know in the comments, what did you think? Would you make this? Is it a revelation? Is it gross? Tell us what you thought. And don't forget to like the video, give us a hype in the first 7 days, because that really, really helps us out. And consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy this kind of foodie madness. Thanks again for watching, a very happy Halloween to you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.